This video is part 2 to my previous video, Slower Than a Bullet Train, Nicer Than a Regular Train, which I published in early July of 2023. If you haven't seen that video yet, I encourage you to watch it and then come back to this one. In that video, I explained a popular type of train in Japan that we don't really see as much in other countries, the Limited Express. Limited Express trains are not high-speed trains, they share tracks with slower commuter trains. But by having less stops and more comfortable trains, they are able to offer passengers a premium product. A premium product that requires a premium fare. Passengers usually have to buy a surcharge and a seat reservation on top of the regular fare. Well, you see, I left something out in that video. A few people commented and pointed out that I had neglected to mention a separate category of trains. Now, here's the thing. I'm the kind of person who likes to throw in as much information as possible. But when making explainer videos, especially about subjects a large part of your audience may not be familiar with, you have to take every piece of information and see if it will make the video easier to understand or if it will be distracting. At the time, I judged that this subject would take the video in a whole different direction, one that was best saved for a separate video. This is that video. Last time, we looked at the line map of the Seibu Ikebukuro line in the west of Tokyo. This is probably my favorite railway line in the entire world. When showing you this map, I told you that the color red was for limited express trains, while all the other colors were for regular commuter trains. Well, that's mostly true, except for this light green color right below red. That color represents the S train. This service was introduced in 2017. In Japanese, it's classified as a Yuryo Resha, which literally translated means train with a charge. Not a very insightful name, if you ask me. So today, I've given it the name Commuter Liner. The S train is not the only example of a commuter liner. The same Seibu Railway runs the Haijima liner between Shinjuku and Haijima. Keio Railway runs their Keio liner between Shinjuku and Hachioji, as well as the Mount Takao excursion train to its namesake mountain. Keikyu Railway operates their wing train from Shinagawa down to Misakiguchi. Tobu Railway has their TH liner between Ebisu and Kuki, as well as their TJ liner between Ikebukuro and Ogawamachi via the famous historical city of Kawagoe. Okay, so we've established that they're somewhat common, but what are these commuter liners? Basically, these trains offer a lot of the same benefits as a limited express. They have a limited number of stops, speeding up journeys. All passengers require a seat reservation, one that costs an extra charge on top of your regular ticket. There is one caveat, however. They use regular commuter trains. See, what made limited express trains special was that railways had a separate fleet for those services. Trains with better seats, less doors, etc. But a train that is being used for the S train in the afternoon rush was probably just running on a regular local service just a few hours earlier. So who would pay an extra fee to ride just a regular train? I would, and back in 2018, I did. I rode the S train 5 years ago, and I am about to show you why it's worth the extra charge. First, we need to buy our seat reservation at the ticket kiosk, which is conveniently located right here on the platform at Hoya Station. So I select one seat for the 6:32 train, I choose my destination, and then the fee I have to pay is 510 yen. Here's my ticket. And now I am clear to ride the S train. Here it comes. The train approaching is a 40,000 series train. Will we have hard benches facing the aisle of the train? Well, would you look at that? The seats are facing forward. What a treat. That's the secret of these commuter liners. They have rotating seats. When they are used for regular services, the seats are turned so that the backs face the windows, just like any normal Japanese train. But when they run their special commuter liner services, the seats are turned so that they face forward, like a limited express. This flexibility is a great advantage for companies because they can use their trains at all times of the day. These S-Train seats are really comfortable. Not only do they have power sockets, there is Wi-Fi on board, as well as a bathroom. These features are normal in most parts of the world, but since Japanese passenger trains generally travel very short distances and get extremely crowded, most trains do not include these luxuries. At the front of the S-Train is the so-called partner zone. Besides large windows that allow children to better take in the views, they have a more flexible interior arrangement that allows for strollers and wheelchairs. The S-Train has an interesting schedule. On weekdays, it provides rush hour trips between Kotesashi on the Seibu Ikebukuro line and Toyosu in Tokyo's harbor on the subway Yurakucho line. Along the way, it skips a few major stations, most notably Ikebukuro, one of the busiest stations in the world. This is because its purpose is to provide select commuters with a quieter, less crowded journey. The weekend trips start in the mountains of Chichibu. They take the subway Fukutoshin line and travel through popular neighborhoods like Shinjuku and Shibuya, eventually terminating in the city of Yokohama's Chinatown. These weekend services are much more geared towards tourists.
Welcome on board the S-Train bound for Toyosu. We will be stopping at Iidabashi and Yurakucho. The next station is Shakuji Koen, SI-10. The train will stop at Shakuji Koen Station, but for boarding passengers only. Passengers cannot get off.
So the S-Train is just one example of this. All the other trains I mentioned earlier, like the Wing or the TJ Liner, operate the same way. Some other companies do this, but on a smaller scale. For example, the Commuter Railway Company, which operates a number of lines in the southwest of Tokyo, has their Q-seat product. Some trains will have one or two cars with the rotating seats, and during rush hour, those seats will require a reservation. The rest of the train remains open for everyone. While there are less reservable seats in this scenario, it does free up capacity for regular passengers, while still offering a premium luxury to some. So that's the Commuter Liner, the weird hybrid little brother of the Limited Express. As you can see, you will never run out of options in Japan. As someone who has lived there for 10 years, Japanese trains are my favorite in the whole world, and it is my hope that through watching videos like this, they become just a little bit more understandable to you. Let me know what you would like to learn about next. Please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome. On Saturday, I will return with a review of New York's brand new subway cars. You won't want to miss it. We'll see you next time.